Sometimes too many treasures are a burden. I speak today of an experience common to many of us, the difficult and draining work of disposing of a loved one's personal stuff after they die. I call this process dismantling a life. 5 years ago, my stepfather, Jim, died suddenly. He was 83 and pretty robust, so this was unexpected and a family crisis. Mother is disabled from a stroke and can't live alone. She needed help to sell their condo and move to a more supportive environment. While my sister looked for assisted living, I moved in with Mom to look after her, dispose of decades worth of accumulation, and prepare the condo for sale. Those of you who've been through this know that there's no way to sugarcoat the experience. It's rough. I was focused and eager when I arrived, exhausted and grieving when I left. I sorted and boxed and shipped, hauled, recycled, or pitched dozens of cubic yards worth of stuff, one carton at a time. I brought as a visual aid one of Jim's plastic bins and a couple of his tote bags. Great keeper, great collector. Though the visible parts of their home were always clean, the closets were crammed full. They also had 2 storage units in the building, both stuffed floor to ceiling with a mishmash of things. Canned food, housewares and paper goods, fishing tackle, gift wrap, silk floral arrangements, craft supplies, ornaments, and decor for every holiday, hand tools, power tools, screws, washers and nails, electronics, gadgets. Ugh. I dove into it then, but if I had to face it now, I would flee. There was just so much stuff. And every object or sheet of paper required a decision about what to do with it, and then an action to either keep it or dispose of it. The papers were as jumbled as the storage units. Useless papers from prior jobs and prior homes were carefully filed, while bank statements and medical records were piled or randomly stashed with recipe cards, magazine clippings, photos, and handwritten lists. Throughout the weeks of sorting, I grew angry. Oh, so angry. Why did you keep all this junk? I seethed over and over under my breath. Living with Mother while I sorted added to the stress. So much of the past intersected, entwined, overflowed. Mother's and my lifelong contentious relationship made it harder. One night, Mom and I had a blowout. She has mild dementia from the stroke and couldn't remember the things we'd already packed up for her to take to her new place. She saw me preparing a load for Goodwill and started picking through it. She came upon a box of tacky Christmas ornaments. Not remembering the good ones we'd already saved, she panicked, grabbed the box, and refused to let go. She sat forlornly on the edge of her chair, wailing, "But this is my life." You have to have compassion for that. In the end, there was very little of the stuff of that life worth keeping. The good items I kept for Mom or shipped to family members. Photos, knickknacks, art. The rest of it went to charity, recycling, or trash. Fortunately, we sold the condo furnished, so at least I didn't have to deal with furniture. When I left that condo on the last day, a few days after Mom moved, I closed the storm shutters and set Mom's and Jim's chairs next to each other. just so, like two thrones, as if the king and queen were touching at the knee. Then I burst into tears and sobbed, "I'm so sorry. I'm so, so sorry." Despite months of raging at all the junk, my violation of their privacy and the finality of death sank in. Treasure turns to burden so quickly. In our families of origin, the families we choose or inherit, and in the extended families we call community, our treasures are not the things. The only value lies in our love and commitment to each other. Our greatest treasures are these: to care for one another in life and in death, to acknowledge that love and rage can coexist, and to say, when needed, to others and ourselves, "I'm so sorry. I'm so, so sorry."